Quick warning, this video is going to include spoilers for Tokyo Ghoul, as I will be describing why I want certain outfits, which include their story implications and reasons for existing. This will include outfits and characters prominently. It's been almost a year since Tokyo Ghoul's chapter released, with the official release anniversary being on April 2nd. I can't help but wonder, how come there hasn't been an increase to the Collaborations cosmetic collection yet? Hi Kosu, I'm Psychosu. I love Tokyo Ghoul. I may sound like a broken record because I open every video with this, but I am a P100 Ghoul main and top 10 on the Killer's Achievement leaderboard on Nightlight and DBD Tricky's leaderboards. And as some of you may know, Kaneki only has two skins that aren't his default or bloody outfits. Those being the Awakened Ghoul, the attire he was originally taken in, and he was left in after Jason, also known as Yakumo Umori, was defeated by Kaneki, after he had endured 10 days straight of his torture. And Rise Kamishiro, the woman who began Kaneki's fall into the split world of ghouls and humans, after allowing Kaneki to take her on a date, which ended in her attempting to eat him. Just to fail after steel beams crashed onto both of them, leading to an emergency surgery ending with Rise's organs sewn into Kaneki. But those just follow roughly, 2 episodes out of the entire series' 48 episodes, or, for those of you that are awesome manga readers like me, roughly 2 or more chapters out of the 322 in the entire series. I still don't get how they thought it was a good idea to adapt 322 chapters into just 48 episodes. Anyways, my point is, there's so many outfits and characters and even entire sides of the series that have gone completely unrepresented that I think would be really cool to see eventually added or implemented somehow. I want to talk about skins for Kaneki, legendary and cosplay skins, but also new content I'd like to see added to the game to make the original chapter feel complete. It's clear Behavior didn't really think this chapter was going to do well as it did, which is partly because of Ghoul's kit being insanely fun, decently strong, and the source material being a beloved franchise to many, in Dead by Daylight's biggest player bases. So, while it doesn't surprise me that not many release skins happened, it doesn't stop me from wanting more. So let's begin with that. Skins. I'm going to separate this section by varying rarities, starting with the very rares. If you've watched most of my other videos about Kaneki, I've been constantly asking for his blue jacket outfit. This is referring to the jacket he wore during the first big fight with Amon, and the outfit he wore the night investigator Koreomada was defeated by Toka. This outfit was Kaneki's first true showcase of his restraint and suppression of his hunger. In terms of aesthetic, this outfit would have his classic mask paired with his natural black hair. For extra effect and uniqueness to the face, you could do away with the ghoul eye and do a more tear-stained regular silver eye like he does usually have, as a nod to the "Don't make me a murderer" line. His torso would be of, well, the blue jacket, which really is teal, but like everyone forgets the color teal and just says blue or green instead, even though the combination of them is the best color ever made, but whatever, I guess. This could also likely have bloodstains from his battle with Amon and his accidental attacking of Renji in the same scene. In the pants portion would be his basic blue jeans and sneakers, nothing super special. This would just be a basic yet hard-hitting, very rare skin. As for another black-haired pre-torture Kaneki, the Anteku uniform would be a very interesting outfit and would be a stark contrast to Kaneki's overall black, leathery, or unhinged kind of looks. The Anteku uniform is an outfit Kaneki wore quite often during the beginning of the series, as it was the uniform of the coffee shop ran by ghouls, Anteku. A place that showed Kaneki hospitality in the transition of his human life becoming a ghoul's. This is also the outfit that would later become his Awakened Ghoul outfit, as it became more and more damaged throughout his torture. This outfit would consist of his original eye patch, which he wore to initially hide his ghoul eye. It's kind of like a more white medical looking eye patch rather than the like black leather eye patch in his mask. He would use it to hide his ghoul eye if he ever lost control of his hunger again. His Anteku vest and tie and his apron and jeans would be the rest of the outfit. The Anteku uniform would be another black hair outfit, and also, given the eye patch covers his ghoul eye, one that only shows his human eye, which I think is a cool theme to keep for pre-torture outfits to show his continued struggle to stay human. It could also be perceived as the entity egging Kaneki on by giving him this outfit to remind him of what was taken from him to further Kaneki's mental breaking. This next outfit could work as a blue rarity single piece outfit, and although it's not from the anime, I would just love to see Kaneki's black hoodie from the manga, where he doesn't join Aogiri but rather is with Tsukiyama and Banjo. Just having the manga accurate version of his default would just be really cool to see. The first person point of view wouldn't change that much, but the overall visual look would be a lot more simpler and kind of neat looking in my opinion. But I don't know, I don't think it'll ever happen. But as for a couple extras, they could do casual outfits from the manga as well, which are mostly also from the same time period. Like one of the ones where he has like the kind of pirate eye patch, or one of the ones that has just some casual clothing. Just would be cool to see. As for legendary skins for Kaneki, choices are limited, but that expansion grows in the future when they eventually rework legendary skins to include alternate outfits for them. I really hope they do this with Mina at some point too, because like they designed so many outfits for her, but none of them are in game besides the one that you can play as. As for Kaneki though, the most obvious one would be Heisei Sasaki. Or in this context, this would be Kaneki's adult model, which isn't really that different, it's like a 2-year time skip. This version of Kaneki would chill out with the screams and be a little bit more elegant or calm with it. So the default for this model would be Heisei, the rank 3 investigator and leader of the Queen Squad. This is the first instance we see of Kaneki after the 3-year time skip that happens in between the first series and Tokyo Ghoul Re. After Kaneki had lost his memories and was raised as Heisei Sasaki, an investigator for the CCG. The design overall would have his white hair with black roots regrowing, the investigator's coat, and his bluish-black jeans. Alternatively, they could remove the coat and just have his shirt and tie, which is also a common appearance of this version of him in the show. As skins for older Kaneki, they could also include the Black Reaper, his battle uniform, or the Black Goat uniform. Another big feature of this skin would be the Kagune in this form being of more purple color instead of the candy red it usually is, and the enraged form could have a little bit more of a pinkish red color instead of the neon red it usually has as well. This is done to replicate the change in color shown in his Kagune in between the two series, and I just think it looked neat. It would be a cool visual contrast to his default. However, another legendary I think would be really cool to see is an adaptation of his post-dragon design where he has the sword Kagune and part of his tendrils, and I think they could pull it off really well. But I don't think that one would really have any other variants. I just think the swords and armor would be cool. As for visceral skins, this is probably the one that most people go to when they say they want new skins for Kaneki. But I think none other than the incomplete Kakuja form should be added as a visceral skin. This is also known as his centipede form. This is a form Kaneki took after he finally let everything that had happened to him catch up to him all at once, after allowing the other ghouls he's eaten to mutate him into a mindless monster of brutality and ruthlessness. One driven purely by bloodlust and hunger. The perfect killer for the entity. This outfit would consist of his Kakuja mask clad in purple chitin with one big black and red eye in the center of his forehead, with his hair messy and flared almost windswept. His torso would be what he wears beneath the Aogiri jacket or black hoodie, depends on which version of Kaneki you're talking about, which is a skin-tight suit with centipede leg-like white markings going around his ribs. And his legs would be, well, these are actually just kind of identical to what's in his default, but they could probably get away with recoloring them to be a darker black or purple to match the whole centipede look. And of course, to ignore, his half Kakuja Kagune would be an injustice to this design. The purple centipede segments with the deep blood red Kagune in-betweens is just such a great design. I really hope that eventually when this skin is actually released, because I severely doubt Behavior would skip this design for a skin as it's one of his most iconic, memorable designs in the series, that they do it justice and adapt it properly, because seeing it in the Dead by Daylight art style would be really cool, seeing as how well they adapted Kaneki into the game already. However, I still probably wouldn't take off the teal jacket if they added it. It just fits my design. It fits my color scheme, and I just love that outfit so much. Now, that's all the skins I can come up with for Kaneki himself, but what about other characters? Let's start with some more legendaries and viscerals and work our way back down to the very rares, which would be more like cosplays or inspired skins for other characters. The one non-Kaneki skin I want to see the most is none other than Juzo Suzuya for the Trickster. This skin, in my opinion, would have to be visceral, as I believe Juzo would need to have a completely unique Mori, special blades, likely modeled off of the Scorpion blades, a mass-produced Quinke batch of small blades made to slice, stab, or to be thrown. And I believe this design would take the design of the Season 1 Juzo, but later get cosmetics to receive his CCG tactical gear and even his later designs with black hair, and possibly the Arata Joker Quinke that he had. As for the weapon, I believe you could adapt 13's Jason into a weapon that would work similarly, or if you want to kind of stretch a little bit, adapt Amon's Quinke, the Dojima, as that could very easily fit the bat-shaped weapon design Trickster skins usually follow. But if we could just give him the giant scythe, that would be sick. Like, if no other legendaries happen besides this one, I would be so happy, especially if it had a scythe. The next one I could see is Seiro Takizawa for the Skull Merchant. Now, power-wise, it doesn't make a lot of sense at all, but like, that weapon just works too well with his Kagane. Also, the voice lines would be really cool, given no instance of Skull Merchant has them right now, so I think it would be really neat to make that part of the skin and just make the skin overall really unique for Skull Merchant. And lastly, for legendary skins that aren't for Kaneki, I think the fact that the only instance of Toka existing in DBD being the rabbit outfit for Yui Kimura leads me to believe they want to do more with the actual characters but still wanted to represent them in some way. I think making Toka a legendary for V would be really cool, or making Toka a legendary for a dash killer such as Blight with unique animations to better match the character would be really interesting. This also kind of goes for the other outfits or masks that were added with the initial release. In fact, seeing entire outfits completed to match with those standalone masks would be really cool. Jake would absolutely kill an Ayato cosplay. And getting a completed robe for the Noro Unknown would be my immediate favorite Unknown skin. Speaking of the cosplay skins actually, how about more of those too? There's plenty of characters that could be adapted as outfits for existing survivors that don't really need to be legendaries or their own characters, such as Akira, who could be for Zarina, or the Devil Ape and Black Dog uniforms, which could be for Jeff and Tori respectively. There's a lot of different types of Arata armor in the series. We could also design one for our local armored killer, the Knight. And this is one that I feel should have been done from the start, but Noro's Kakuja is perfect for the Dredge. There's plenty of choices for cosplay, in my opinion, that I think could definitely be done, either as an update to the collection or in celebration of something, perhaps a part 2 chapter, maybe? There's so much untapped potential in Tokyo Ghoul's world that would definitely be introduced to Dead by Daylight as new characters and skins, and with how well the chapter did, it'd be a plain missed opportunity to not try and get more in the game. Even referencing the Quink Squad or other primary side characters that didn't appear in the initial release, like Nishiki or Skiyama or Banjo Squad, would be really nice to see. However, I do want to delve deeper into the idea of a part 2 chapter, but I think that is gonna have enough content to be its own video. So I'll make this a part 1 of things I want to see from DBD in terms of Tokyo Ghoul's license. Tokyo Ghoul is a very special series to me, and seeing it become more represented in full would be a very nice thing to see. This video was more or less inspired by Horser's The Best Nemesis skin in Dead by Daylight video. His showcase and explanation of each skin kind of inspired me to think about Kaneki skins and made me go down a path of wanting a couple specific outfits. Most notably, the teal jacket is the one I want the most as it fits my color scheme a lot, and it's also a very important part of Kaneki's early character development, and it's literally already referenced in-game in the Twitch drop badge from the release time frame, so like, where is the behavior? Why are you hiding it from me? Put it in my grimy little ghoul hands and let me style. Anyways though, that's all for this video. I want to talk about part 2 chapter concepts soon, so be on the lookout. Until then, I am Psychosu, and goodbye Gosu.